I got a call about a month ago from my friend John Dorsey asking me if I wanted to come out to Belle, Missouri and do a reading. Of course I said yes. I love any excuse to go through the Midwest, and even though it's hot as shit right now in New York, it's gonna be winter before we know it. A drive straight to Belle from New York would take me like 20 hours though, because I have to piss every 30 seconds. So I called my man Tommy Bays out in Louisville. I met him at a Gonzo Fest a couple years ago. He's my favorite singer-songwriter. He said he would set up a show in New Albany, no problem. Then I called my friend Dan Wright out in St. Louis, and I was like, dude, I'm coming through. Can you set up a show for August 1st? He was like, hell yeah, no problem. So this little shout out to Belle was turning into a pretty nice tour. I was gonna get to see like 30 people I hadn't seen in years. I stopped in Morgantown my first night again to see my man Matt. Morgantown's becoming like my stopover point whenever I do these tours. And if anybody else is ever thinking about passing through, I got 3 PBRs and 3 tacos in Morgantown for $8. Everything in that city is the right price. We went to bed early that night. My friend Matt's a funeral director, so he gets calls at like 2 o'clock in the morning to go find dead bodies. And I knew the next day I had a long ass haul to Louisville. The show was actually in New Albany, Indiana, which is right across the river from Louisville. All my friends who had circulated around Louisville seemed to be living in New Albany. They said it was way cheaper. I got a little taste of the cool old Rivertown architecture, but I was like already kind of an hour late, so I went right to the bookstore, caught up with Tommy outside, and then it was showtime. After the show, Ben Holland came up to me. He knew that I wrote like a pizza column for X-Ray magazine, so he was like, you gotta come check out Parlor Pizza. It's the best we got in New Albany. So he took some of the heads to the pizza place to get a table. But Frog Corpse, I don't know if he's autistic or just a genius when it comes to like fossils and sediments or whatever, but he was like, we gotta go to the Ohio River. I gotta show you this shit and explain the geography to you. And it was super cool. It was like an awesome little crash course science lesson right before the pizza time.
Go for the map. Go for the map. The map. The map. The map. The map. Go for the map. Go for the map. The map. The map. The map.
Apparently this Ohio River has one of the fastest currents in the entire world. If you jump in that thing, in 3 seconds you'll be 1,000 feet down the river. So where I'm standing right now is New Albany, Indiana, and that across over there is Louisville, Kentucky. See that? New Albany. Pizza was actually really good. I had wanted to drive like 3 hours further to get closer to St. Louis, but I was pretty drunk, so I went and got a hotel back in Louisville because that's where the price was cheaper. The next morning I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna kick myself if I don't go back to New Albany and film what this downtown looks like, because it doesn't look like anything back home. So I took a little detour on my way west and drove through New Albany to capture some of this architecture on film. So after a nice cruise through New Albany, I got back on the highway and headed to St. Louis for the show that night at Dunaway Books. August 1st, in this foul year of our Lord, 2025. Headed to St. Louis, Missouri for a show that night at Dunaway Books. Usually I have a really bad first night on tour, like I'm super nervous, I think everybody in the city hates me. But last night in New Albany had been so kick-ass, I was so stoked for the rest of this tour. I feel like Indiana gets ragged on a lot, especially by people from the Midwest, but everything I saw was really cool. Of course, all I look at all day are concrete and assholes, so anything green seems like paradise to me. Right before the Illinois border, I stopped at a rest stop and ate my lunch under a tree. A little toad hopped on my hand, which I took as a sign of good fortune and good things to come. And then I got back in the car and I kept going west. So one thing I really wanted to do on this tour was see East St. Louis. I've been back and forth across this country so many times since I graduated high school back in 2003. And one thing that always astounds me when I pass through these cities like Baltimore or Cairo, Illinois, or East St. Louis is just how far this American dream has collapsed. That these places were the center of industry, commerce, innovation, and now they're beyond ruins. They're just a wasteland waiting to get eaten back by the forest. So in 1950, East St. Louis had a population of 80,000 people. By 2020, it was 18,000. Just like Gary, Indiana, which is another city that the Sasquatches are just waiting to take back over. In 1958, East St. Louis was awarded the All-American City title, which was a huge honor back then. And within less than a decade, it just became notorious for deregulation, devaluation, crime, vice, murder, kidnapping, and now it doesn't even set any records because there aren't enough people left here to break them. I will say though that the people who are left there, like the houses are beautiful. You just pass, 3 or 4 empty lots, a church that's been abandoned and its roof is collapsed, and then you'll have 1 or 2 houses with like mowed lawns, perfectly manicured gardens. The roofs are new. The brick is shiny. It's actually sadder seeing the people that are left behind try and make something beautiful, because it just shows the indestructible human spirit to make a home. Try and make something out of nothing. Like, you could take their surroundings, you could take all their money, you could take everything else, but you can't take their dignity. And yet there's no reward. There's no help. Nobody's coming to give them a hand. They're just waiting for them to rot out so they can knock it all down and bulldoze it, sell it, suck out any money or resource that's left there, and then either destroy the whole thing or redevelop it, or whatever they do, because they don't lose money. After this perplexing detour through East St. Louis, I headed on into the real St. Louis, which didn't look anywhere near as abandoned as I had been led to believe. Every time we do a show in St. Louis, we're an hour and a half late, we're pulling in on 2 wheels, we do the show like rapid fire, and then we just go to the bar down the street and get drunk. So I was really excited to get to this show a few hours early and get to explore the city a little bit. So I went to Dunaway, met up with Dan Wright, and after his shift was over, we moved some tables, got some beer, and then it was showtime.
There are many yarns about you. Don't live with the swimming hole. I'm not trying to drown you. I'm trying to get you out of home.
So after the show wrapped, a couple of us went over to CBGB's and then drank all night until last call. It was day 3 of tour. 4 days ago I'd left Brooklyn. Night 1 I was in Morgantown, West Virginia. Night 2 New Albany, Indiana. Night 3 St. Louis, Missouri. And now I was driving hungover as hell to the conclusion of this To Kingdom Come tour in Belle, Missouri. Wesley and I got pretty chummy last night at CBGB. He had to take John back to the hotel because he wasn't feeling that good. But then Wesley took a cab back. We hung out, pounded beers, talked about the good old days. So I was excited to see him again at OAC tonight at Belle. Now, I've never been any place like Belle. It's only an hour really from St. Louis, but you make a right on some farm road and then you enter a different era. Luckily, I'm a direct descendant of Jesse James, and at some point my family lived out here. And I feel like this edge gave me some kind of Shaolin power as soon as I entered the Bavarian farmlands. It's beautiful out here, but there are no cops, there are no rules, mind your own fucking business, and I dig that. Wesley and John had left St. Louis a little while before me, so instead of going all the way down to the river where John lived, we were meeting in town at the pizza place. 2 years ago, in January 2023, I came to Belle for the first time with Damien Rucci and Nathan Stolte. There's something about this place that's a magnet for all weirdos and artists and writers. I don't know what it is, but I think once you're there, you can leave for a while, but you're always gonna get dragged back. The Osage Arts Community, OAC, they've got properties throughout this town. They host myriad creatives, like whether you're a writer, a painter, a musician, a cartographer. If you can put it down on paper that you need a place to stay and be completely unbothered by the outside world, they'll get you in here. Dorsey and Reberg live in houses out in the country, and they're always cool with you staying there, but every time I'm there, we get so drunk at the pool hall that we end up crashing at this house that the owner of OAC always sets up for us. I knew he had set it up this time, and I was pretty sure we weren't gonna stay at it so we can go back and hang out with John and Jason at night, but I wanted to show Wesley what it looked like. Damien and I have gotten great writing done in this house over the years. It's the best place to like walk around, get drunk, talk to your friend who's at the table, you sit at the couch, then you smoke some cigarettes, then you get back to writing, and then 12 hours later, you've gotten some decent writing done. Yeah, so apparently like above this bed is where everybody hangs themselves.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sleeping up here either.
Hell no. This is cold blood. So after I gave Wesley a tour of the house, we got back in the car and headed back into town to the art gallery where the reading was going to be that night. Once the show wrapped up, we got back in Wesley's car and headed back to John Dorsey's house. John's driveway kind of snakes down a big hill, and at the bottom is the river house where the owners of OAC live. And it's this beautiful house that sits like on the side of a hill and then just kind of flows down to the Gasconade River, which was brown last time I was there, but bright blue this time. And the dogs run around and they swim in the river, and then you pet them, and then you all eat and get drunk. It's a wonderful time. I can't believe I didn't take any video footage of this. But here's some footage I shot 2 years ago when we were here in the winter, so you can imagine how pretty it is in the summer. Then after me, Wesley, and Jason sat up till 3 in the morning talking about everything on Earth, I laid down on the couch, got up to take a piss, and when I came back, the biggest fucking spider I've ever seen was standing right where my head just was. And as I stared at it in total horror, it just slowly crawled around the back of the couch and disappeared. Blown machine! When the sun finally rose August 3rd over Belle, Missouri, I got up off the spider-ridden couch and decided I was way too tired and hungover to drive back to New York City. I had to pass back through St. Louis regardless to get home, so I called up Dan Wright. I was like, yo, you want to spend one more night together? We can get some food. We can go on a tour of the whole city. You can show me all the different neighborhoods I've been waiting to see. I'll crash, and then I'll head home the next day. So he was like, yeah, come on out. He was working till 5, so I parked, said hi to him, and then walked around the neighborhood and filmed some of these beautiful brick houses that surround Dunaway Books. Once Dan was done with work, we hopped in the car and went on a tour all around St. Louis.
The people behind the scenes know how to fucking undercut like no one else, and this city should be thriving more than what it is with everything we have, but for just some reason, it's not.
Oh, it's definitely not. I don't understand it.
Right. Dude, like no one here fucking understands it either, but because there's so much going for this city, but there's like someone turned off a switch or something that keeps like the water from going.
This is downtown in front of us?
Right in front of us is Midtown.
Midtown, okay.
Yeah, like we're gonna be heading straight into the theater district before we get into the north side.
That's the other thing about this is just like, well, the roads are horrible, but other than that, like the bones of this place are unreal.
Yeah, the structure of this city is fucking solid, but they built a lot of bullshit on top of that solid fucking structure.
As I was like probably 3 or 4 years ago, like I'm seeing what these liberal policies have now done to these cities that I saw 20 years ago, and now I'm seeing again, and they're fucking gutted and just like too expensive, taxed out the fucking ass, but none of that money ever goes back to the people, of course.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of people, like what you're describing is what a lot of people have gone through, where like there hasn't been necessarily a shift to the right,
no,
but it's more so a shift to the center of what the fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to vote for a Republican, but I'm also like, why am I voting for Democrats to just destroy the cities?
Right. So yeah, this right here is St. Louis University campus.
Okay.
And right when we get beyond that, we're going to be in the theater district.
Okay, cool.
And that's going to be for a couple of blocks, and then we're going to get into the north side.
When I watch on TikTok and there's fucking kids walking around with AR-15s, where's all that shit?
Fuck if I know.
Well, the media's done a really good job of making this city seem like a lawless hellhole.
Yeah, and I won't lie, those pockets exist, but they're very few and far between.
So you have what, like when Hamilton and stuff tours, they come down here?
Yeah. Actually, we're about to hit the box, and I'll show you that when we hit it. It's going to be on your side.
Look at this.
Yeah.
That's probably just low-income housing now.
No, that's, it's Jesuit Hall, so
You can tell
people are paying top dollar for that.
You think so?
Yep.
So this part of town's always been nice?
Yes.
Okay. That building's insane.
Mm-hmm.
When was most of this city built? Like Industrial Revolution?
Thereabouts. Yeah, it's the Fox right up there.
Was that owned by like Fox at one point?
No, that's just called the Fox Theater.
Well, like I was just in Morgantown, and they have a Warner Theater, which is from back in the day when the movie companies were open. That's the last one that Warner Brothers still owns. It's still there in Morgantown, West Virginia.
Well, yeah, that may be assigned to 20th Century Fox then, or like had some initial connection to it.
That was like a whole history I didn't even know anything about. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, this building too is fucking amazing. Yeah,
and here's our Symphony Powell Hall.
Okay.
Which they're doing some renovations on it right now.
Is this another hospital? So it's a good place to get hurt. You got a lot of options.
Well, I mean, you're going to be paying, out the ass for like, coverage and shit.
Greenberg was saying that the medical care is so bad out by where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you're a farmer, you cut your hand off, like you got to go to Jeff City and then get flown to Columbia or whatever. These roads are horrible. Mm-hmm. I guess you got a corrupt ass fucking mayor or something.
She ain't as corrupt as the others have been, but she just got elected. But the previous fucking mayor, there was a reason why we were fucking snowed in for a month.
You snowed in for a month? Well, they had no plan?
No, like they knew it was fucking coming, and fucking Tashara Jones, whose father was a fucking crooked politician, he got arrested for fraud in the 90s while being a fucking comptroller in this city.
Oh my god, come on.
And they knew for a week we were gonna get this massive snowstorm, and the amount of salt, there were storage lockers full of street salt that they did not unload. And all the meanwhile, Tashara's in fucking Washington trying to raise funds for her re-election campaign. Meanwhile, we're all fucking suffering out here for the better part of a fucking month.
Get
like
out.
Dunaway was like, it was so fucking bad. The owners of Dunaway Books did not want me to come in, and when it reached the point that I had to come in because the streets were clear enough, and this is why I love the owners of Dunaway Books. They gifted me $100 lift in the car so I could get to fucking work.
That is so sweet.
Because they didn't want me fucking walking.
Look at this shit.
Yep.
Right next to these nice people right here.
Yeah. This is the north side.
This is the north side, okay.
And this is just the fringe.
Oh, it gets worse?
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. That's the same fucking house. Oh, shit. We got Stu people, man. We're filming them. I was doing this in East St. Louis in the way here, bro. I was like, look at this. What a shame. Look at this fucking thing. Oh, yeah. Wow. Yo, there is nothing like this back on the East Coast. It's like Detroit.
Yep.
Yikes. And there's some poor fucking people left trying to keep it all together.
Yep.
Oh, it's heartbreaking. Wow, what a stark... As soon as you get out of the theater district, it falls apart.
Yep.
What the fuck happened at this part of town?
People stopped giving a fuck. And you'd see like...
Yeah. It's urban development.
Yep.
Yeah. Some nice non-profit comes in. Uses $10 million of the city's money to do that.
To build 4 fucking houses.
Wow. This is crazy, bro. Look at this old Catholic church. Wow. Nobody's giving a fuck out here.
You got that old Bud Light sign.
Yeah, that's sick. Let me know if somebody's coming out with an AR. Wow, look at that. God, this whole block. This is so sad that they make, this is fucking America and you make people live like this. It's fucking, it's unforgivable. It's this whole fucking block. This is, I mean, and this is like planning too. Like they do this on purpose. Like, this can't happen by accident.
Right.
Look at this shit. Wow. Damn, if only we knew how to do something, huh?
Right.
A lot of money to be made out here.
Yep.
But left?
Yeah.
Oh. It's really interesting how it's like block to block too. Look at that house. God, they're all so beautiful, man. It's crazy. Well, I don't know what happened in this town after George Floyd, but I'm sure you don't have enough police to deal with this shit.
No. The cops come up here when they need to fill quotas.
Yeah, right? Look at that. Imagine your grandparents could fucking see this.
Yeah.
That guy's got a gun on. Goodbye. You see him reach for his gun? block is like, fuck you. You're not coming on our block.
Very much.
I've never had to do this and like hide in the camera because I'm afraid we're gonna get fucked up. Oh, chopped suey joint. You don't see those anywhere. What am I doing here? Going straight? Going right?
Going right. In 2019, yeah, I got robbed after like hanging out, and like basically these guys flanked me, pointed a gun below my knee, took my wallet and my phone, and like I'll tell you the whole story a little bit later, but like joke was on them because I literally had $1 to my name and a shitty, you know, Virgin $50 phone.
Okay.
I ain't getting much out of it. Like, in fact, like I almost wish I had been there when they saw like, oh, we robbed a broke motherfucker.
Yeah,
this
right.
dude's like one bad day away from being where we are.
This shit is hard. We don't have any ghetto close to this on the East Coast. I mean, well, on the East Coast, but like not in New York or New Jersey. Fucking Baltimore looks exactly like this. Dude, that is terrifying. Oh, we're good. I've become an expert on this, don't worry. There ain't nothing going on. That church though, man. God damn, if only I knew how to do fucking anything. Look at this old house.
Yep.
I can't believe shit like this can happen.
Yep.
In a city like St. Louis, man.
It's a really good book about St. Louis called The Broken Heart of America.
Okay.
Would explain a lot of like what happened.
Straight or left?
Straight.
I just can't believe block after block. There's just nobody fucking here.
Yep.
I'm surprised you even have enough money here to cover like the pensions for the firefighters and the cops.
Dude, honestly, I'm surprised too.
The whole tax base is out in the county, it looks like.
Yeah. And you can see like right down like that very like European style of housing.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this. One of them that's kept up. It's unreal. Jesus Christ. Nobody's moving here if these fucking potholes don't get fixed. Yeah, it's just endless. Wow. It's a big city, bro.
Yep. For over 100 years.
Wow. What was this neighborhood? It was German? Everything was German here, right?
Germanic, French.
This is downtown now?
We're getting into the downtown area now, yeah.
Alright, sick. I just can't believe there's just like no pedestrian traffic. There's like you don't even see anybody.
Yeah, there's City Museum.
Okay, and actually now everything looks expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, like specifically, Washington Avenue, that's where a lot of the money is.
Aren't there a lot of Art Deco buildings and stuff that are just like completely abandoned down here?
There used to be.
Wow.
Dude, you're in the wrong lane.
Sorry. There's nobody here. So Washington Avenue, that's like a main business district?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you get, if you wanted to drive around more so like downtown proper down that way, you'd see a lot of the Art Deco.
They were having so many problems with kids downtown here on 4th of July every year that this year, if they arrested a kid, they arrested the kid's parent.
Jeez.
They were like, keep your kids at home, don't have them downtown throwing fireworks at fucking people. Wow, it is empty downtown too, huh?
On a Sunday.
I mean, you get a lot of tourists in this city?
During baseball season.
Oh, you don't get like Europeans and shit though.
We get people who have like layovers.
Okay. Wow, look at that building. Is that the firehouse?
Nah.
That's crazy. Wow.
Ooh, it might
Every one of these buildings is amazing.
be.
They don't make them like that anymore, huh?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's City Hall.
The city was built for another time, man.
Yep.
This
Yeah,
could have been
well,
New York.
It really could have once upon a time.
Yeah, they really fucked up. People should go to jail for fucking up that bad. There we go. Alright. Now we've done it all.
Yeah, that's the old courthouse right there,
Oh, okay.
where the Dred Scott case happened.
Oh, no way.
Yep. Oh, there's a Thaxton Speakeasy.
Okay.
It's a pretty cool little hangout. Haven't been there in a couple years.
Did you used to come down here more?
Oh, more so when I worked down here, when I worked at City Museum.
How'd you get down here?
Bus.
Bus? Is that decent here, or does it take fucking forever to get everywhere?
I mean, I was just going from South City to the downtown area, so it was just like a half hour, but still.
Okay.
So it'd basically be like getting from like, Williamsburg into Manhattan.
Yeah, okay. Wow, wow, wow. Good lord. They need to rip this whole fucking city apart and repave it. Jesus Christ.
Yep, here's Washington.
Alright, so I'll go left here.
Yeah.
Who lives down here? Like the tech people, the fucking Wall Street people?
Tech people, sort of like yuppies, things like that.
Parents' money.
Pretty much. Yeah, you see like you got like a cigar lounge down here. But even like Wash Ave kind of took a hit when Ballpark Village kind of was erected about 9 years ago.
What is that?
That is basically, it's difficult to really describe it. It's just basically a giant area where just a bunch of sports bars are like just sort of clustered together right next to the ballpark.
Okay. Oh, they're trying to just make it like a safe little, you can do everything you need to right there.
Yeah.
You don't have to see any of the rest of the city to do anything.
Right.
If you're coming in from the suburbs. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Louisville had that too.
Yeah, that's Wash Ave Post. I used to work there.
Bro, speed the fuck up. amazing, block after block. The amount of money that used to be spent in this city, man.
Yep.
Holy shit.
There was a prostitute.
That was a prostitute? I thought so.
No. Usually you don't see them this far up into the city proper. You usually see them down in like South City. But you see like that big building right there in the distance?
Yeah.
That's the theater district. But yeah, look at like fucking all this.
I am. It's unreal. It's beautiful. The old signs too. They did a great job in the city with the signs.
Yeah.
On my way into St. Louis, I saw the signs for Cahokia. If you had gone to college in the aughts and smoked a lot of weed, you watched Ancient Aliens and you knew all about Cahokia. This was the one, the vast empire. And since it was right here in the middle of the country, it didn't start here. It came from somewhere else. Possibly Mayan, possibly alien, possible something from Egypt we don't even know about yet. Because there's rumors there's Egyptian coins. There was 100% conch shells found from thousands of miles away. It makes no sense here. So I vowed that on the way out of St. Louis, I was going to stop at Cahokia. I was going to sit down. I was going to feel the vibes. Hopefully a pterodactyl or some fucking gray alien thing would come and talk to me. Cahokia is so old, it predates the Native American communities we know of. The Indians who encountered Lewis and Clark told them that this place was already abandoned when they showed up here hundreds of years before this. This city was the center of a vast and powerful empire. They've discovered copper artifacts here from Upper Michigan, mica from the Appalachians, quartz from Oklahoma, and even though the quote-unquote real scientists say this is impossible, somehow the unknown empire left behind Egyptian coins when they disappeared. Climbing up to the top of Cahokia, the greatest civilization in the world at one time. This may not look that high, but this is high as hell. By the time I was halfway, I was winded. When I got to the top, I was dead. And you can see why they built the mound here. It is so flat that at the top of this thing, you could see all the way to St. Louis. You would never be surprised by an enemy. Cahokia is further proof that we know nothing about this human story and everything we were fed in school was total bullshit. All right, I wanted to do this for years. As soon as I read about this place for the first time, now I'm at the top of fucking Cahokia. Like you could see St. Louis right behind me. So that means that from this mountain you could literally see everything for dozens and dozens of miles. It must have been insane when Lewis and Clark came through here and the Indians told them about a civilization that predated them that they knew nothing about. They found Egyptian artifacts here. They found shit from all over the world that doesn't make any sense here. So there was clearly a worldwide network of trade or aliens or something hundreds and hundreds of years before any kind of like other advanced civilization took over, and nobody knows where these people went or what happened. It's insane. There's St. Louis. You see other mounds in the distance too. This is the big one though. Woodhenge.
Whoa, 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 I caught them out, and I turned the page on them. These crazy kids had been acting amazing.
have something called Woodhenge, which I've never heard of, but I assume that, like in Ireland and England and Wales, there was some celestial purpose to this, and since we don't have stones here, they use the trees. As you can see, right behind it is this beautiful quarry, which obstructs the view and makes this whole thing look terrible. But this is ancient land, and I'm assuming because they fucked it up so bad, that's why East St. Louis is so cursed. See that beautiful rock pile and cement processing center right through this ancient spiritual site? Is anything more American than that? Well, the tour was over. I was headed home on a long-ass drive from St. Louis back to New Jersey. But I wanted to make one last stop in Wheeling, West Virginia. If you've ever been through this city, you know how magical it is. It was the last stop on the stagecoach road before you got on the steamships to head down to New Orleans. At one time, it had one of the highest collection of millionaires in the country. But like everywhere else, the politicians sold out the jobs to Asia, to South America, and they let another beautiful American city die. This city had one extra thing though most of the others didn't. It had the old national road running right through it. This was a turnpike built in the early 1800s that was originally called the Cumberland Road, but later celebrated as an American icon called the Main Street of America, the first federally financed highway in this country. And right through Wheeling, West Virginia, they built the Wheelingsuspensionbridge, the first of its kind, the biggest for years, straddling the Ohio River and dwarfing this country from an unconquerable Wild West frontier to a United States. This is my favorite part of the country, that stretch between like Frederick, Hagerstown, Cumberland. I'll even throw Frostburg, Maryland in there, even though Frostburg is insane and full of maniacs. It's beautiful country. The low hills, they're so green. The rivers are so blue that we gave this up and let these jobs go and let all these people fall apart and watch their futures go away and then give them nothing but Oxycontins is such a fucking sin. Every single politician and doctor in this country should be killed. It's a tragedy, and we just keep letting them get away with it time and time again. Coincidentally, the last time I was in Wheeling, I was with my buddy Tom Bakalis. We had done a Gonzo Fest out in Louisville, killed it, and then our plane got canceled because a tornado or something was hitting Louisville, so we had to rent a car and drive back to New Jersey. And when I saw the sign for Wheeling, I was like, oh my god, we gotta stop at Wheeling, man. The suspension bridge is here. This is like one of our historic cities. We had a great time. We parked and walked down to the river. We marveled at the bridge, but this city 2 years ago was collapsed, gutted. Everything was hollow, out of business, vacant, dilapidated. And I was blown away because everything this time was new and fresh. They had buildings where the lots were. They had new paint on the old buildings and houses. Who's ever in charge of this city and whatever money they got to refurbish it has done a great job. This is like the only city in this country I see. Their politicians, their people, they've done the right thing. Wheeling is a total 180 from the way it was 2 years ago when I was there.
Learn to target your friends, network expensive thunder.
Well, it's still closed. I-40, I think you should run right through here, the old National Pike. I don't know, hopefully this bridge gets open again someday because it's beautiful. I think it was the first suspension bridge maybe in this country. At least they kept it, I don't know. I wish they'd fix it because it is beautiful. After I marveled at the bridge, I got back in the car, did a little loop through Wheeling. Here's some pictures of the way it looked back in the day when this city was kicking ass, but I have a feeling it might be back soon. And then I headed on back to New Jersey to go kiss my dog, my girlfriend, and get back to real life. Thus passes the glory of the world. I've seen Kentucky through this windshield 3 times since January. In winter, Nathan drives, and we're still tired from the night in St. Louis. In spring, I drive, and I remember a story about Whitman heading our way before turning south. In summer, it's Tom's turn, and we stop in Wheeling to see where the stagecoaches ran out of road before the bridge was built, and now it has collapsed. The grass is never blue, but the river's always brown. I haven't read a book written by a stranger in over a year. Every time I get into a car, there's a destination. It's not like walking. I always know where I'm going. On Sunday, we rob a grocery store and get out with 3 burritos and a 6-pack. Tom is taking us fast through the Allegheny Tunnel, and I use my lighter to open 2 of the beers. Will we sleep better tonight? Who lives inside these highway trailers? There are red lights appearing before us like deer eyes, wide and lost under a setting sun. I don't say slow down. We could sleep forever rubbed on this asphalt. We could dream in sentences buried beneath it.